Definition of pictograph. Pictograph is a pictorial representation of numerical data or relationships, especially a graph, but having each value represented by a proportional number of pictures. When we write the number of different objects in a given group, we call it data. The given data can be represented by drawings, pictures, and it is called a pictograph. We should be able to collect information from a pictograph by reading it. Here is an example of a pictograph. Every pictograph has 1. A title, which tells us what the pictograph is all about. 2. Pictures, which tell us the given number of objects. 3. Labels, which tell us what kind of data is shown. 4. The key, which tell us the number of each picture is equal to.
History of pictograms. Even if pictograms are a modern invention, the first written symbols are considered as pictorial representations of objects. In fact, the use of these pictorial signs has expanded throughout the course of human history. Nowadays, pictograms are used in all sorts of environment, from road signage to laundry instructions, and instructional graphics and modern technologies. Companies like Toyota and Philips were the early adopters of pictographs. They came into general use around the 70s. But to trace comprehensive line of time for pictographic symbols, we should go back to prehistoric rock paintings and pictographs. Pictographs were used all over the world since 9000 BC and became popular around 4000 years later, when they began to develop into logographic writing systems. But the first pictograph signs appeared in 30,000 BC in the form of cave paintings. The Egyptian hieroglyphs, as well as Japanese pictograms and Mayan glyphs, marked a major advancement in the development of culture, as they have contributed to the idea of icons and pictograms. In the 12th century, new categories of pictorial signs emerged, but as hieroglyphs, they were not neutral because they didn't fulfill the criteria of international symbolism. 3 centuries later, the invention of the printing press gave birth to some pictorial signs that come closer to our pictographs. Because of all these influences, now pictographs have developed in an incredibly efficient and simple way to represent and communicate ideas because they offer a clear and concrete explanation pointing to a simple fact.
Pictograph. Pictograph is a visual presentation of data using icons, pictures, and symbols, and etc. And pictograph use relative sizes or repetition of the same icon, picture, or symbol to show its comparison. And another term called for pictograph are pictogram, pictorial chart, pictorial graph, or picture graph. And that's all. Thank you.
Here is an example problem involving a pictograph. So the following table shows the number of phone sales made by a company in its first month. Construct a pictograph for the table. So here, the first week has 100 phone sales, the second week 150, the third week 125, and the fourth week 200. So the solution, we'll be making a pictograph. Since we cannot fit in lots of pictures, we can assign a value to it. So in my case, I'm assigning a value to each phone, 25. So in making a pictograph, I divided 100 with 25. So in the first week, the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 150 divided by 25 is equal to 6. So the second week, I'll put 6 phones. The third week, 125 divided by 25 is equal to 5. So 5 phones. And the fourth week, 200 divided by 25 is 8 phones. 7, 8. So that's it.
So here's another example. The table shows that different numbers of plants were planted by the students of the school on 5 days, from Monday to Friday. We must make this table a pictograph. For the solution, first we need to pick a symbol or a picture to represent the data, which is number of plants. It must describe the plant, so I have decided this picture. And since the quantities of plants are too high, we have to declare a numerical value of the picture. So I decided for the value to be 12. So one plant picture is equivalent to 12 plants. So now we are ready to make the pictograph. So for Monday, 48 plants were planted by the students. So we have to put, so 48 divided by 12 is 4. So we have to put 4 plants for the pictograph. Then on Tuesday, the students planted 60 plants. So 60 divided by 12 is 5. So we need to put 5. Then on Wednesday, they planted 24 plants. So 24 divided by 12 is 2. So we need to put 2 plants. Then for Thursday, still 48, same as Monday. So 4 plants. Then for Friday, 36 divided by 12 will be 3. So 3 plants. And that's all for this example.
Example problem. The following table shows the number of computers sold by a company for the months January to March. Construct a pictograph for the table. For January, there are 25 computers sold. In February, there are 35. And for March, there are 20 computers. Okay, solution. I assigned a symbol, which is this computer symbol, to represent 5 computers. I assigned a symbol to minimize the space of the table. So for January, there are 5 computer symbols because 25 divided by 5 is 5. Next is February. There are 7 computer symbols because 35 divided by 5 is 7. And for March, there are 4 because there are 20 divided by 5 is 4. That's all.
So here we have the pictograph data presentation. We're going to borrow Joshua's data presentation for this. So one phone is equivalent to 25 number of phone sales by a company. So to get the result, we just have to times the number of phones by the given number. So 25 times 4 is equals 100, and 25 times 6 equals 150, and 25 times 5 equals 125, and 25 times 8 equals 200. So what we get is on the first week we have 100 sales of phones, and second week we have 150, and the third week we have 125, and the fourth week we have 200. Therefore, with the given results, this is how our table should look. And with this, our conclusion is, with the pictograph, we can identify large amounts of numbers with the help of pictures or icons that makes the large amount of numbers easy to read. That's all.